This video is going to take us through the second section of Chapter 11, so 11-2. And just to review real quick, it's going to be recording sales transactions in the General Journal. The first part was recording the purchase transactions in a General Journal. So we're going to this time now be dealing with granting our customers a return or a partial allowance on something. So this would be like, again, you sold something to a customer and they want to return it to you, or they want to say that something was damaged and they'll pay less than full price for that. So we're going to use something now called a credit memorandum, which again, it looks like a receipt showing that the items that were brought back or discounted for the customer. So here's an example of a transaction: granted credit to Lake Automotive for merchandise that was returned for $65.85 plus sales tax of $395. From an original sales invoice $500, and then the grand total that you're returning is $69.80. Credit memorandum 14. So credit memorandum is a CM and then a number. So this is what this is going to look like in the General Journal. We're going to have 3 lines now for this one. So we're going to debit the sales returns and allowance this time for the original cost of the item. Then we're going to also have to give them back the tax. So when we return something, we get the full cost of the item plus the tax back to us. So we're going to also then debit the sales tax, and then we're going to have to credit the accounts receivable account and the company that brought the item back to us. So again, there's a dash there, so that would mean there'd be a dash in the post reference when we post both to both accounts. So these 2 debits added together would make the total refund of the item of the credit. We're also going to learn in this section correcting some entries. So there might have been an entry that was mistakenly journalized, and then we have to correct that entry in the General Journal and post those as well. So here is the 11-2 work together, and we have 2 steps to journalize number 1 and post them number 2. We have the chart of accounts here, so we're still with Klein Interiors here. And we have 4 different transactions in June to journalize. So the first one is June 4th, granted credit to Keller Associates for merchandise returned $245 plus sales tax of $14.70 for a total of $259.70. Credit memorandum number 28. So this is the completed transaction. So we have the June 4th as their date. Sales returns and allowances are debit. CM28 is our document number. The original sale was for $245. We also have to debit the sales tax because we give that back to the customer as well of $14.70. And then we credit the accounts receivable and / Keller Associates, the name of the company, for the full amount. So these 2 debits added together equals our credit of $259.70. Second transaction on the 9th, learned that a sale on account to Ashton and Lindsay LLP was incorrectly charged to the account of Abraham Corporation of 623, memorandum number 61. So in this case, we are making a correcting entry. So we have to debit one account and credit the other. So this is the 9th. We're going to debit the account that should have been debited, which was Ashton and Lindsay. Let's put that one. ASHS. Okay, so the sale on account should have gone to the Ashton and Lindsay, so we had to debit their account and credit the incorrect account of Abraham Corporation. It's a memorandum 61, and the amount 1 debit, 1 credit of $623. The next transaction on the 12th, granted credit to Lambert Schools for some damaged merchandise of $206. There's no sales tax. CM29. So for that one, we're going to have the 12th. We're going to have the sales returns and allowance. And it was CM29. And the amount was $206. And because there's no sales tax, like in the first one, we're not going to have a sales tax amount there. So we're going to go right to the accounts receivable and the name of the company. 3206. So this looks exactly like the other one, but remember, schools, non-for-profits, things like that don't pay sales tax, so we don't have to return the tax to them because they didn't pay it in the first place. All right, the last transaction is going to be on the 26th. Found that a sale on account to Keller Associates was incorrectly charged to the account of Carson Properties for $598, memorandum number 62. So again, we're going to debit the account that should have been debited, which is the Keller Associates, M62. And the amount is $598. And we're going to credit the account that should not have been charged, which was Carson Properties, and $598 there. So that's step one, to journalize. Step two then is to post all of the lines. So it's just like every other journal that we've had to post. We're going to go line by line. And when there's a 2 entry in the title, like this one, we're going to have 2 account numbers because we're going to post to both accounts receivable and to Keller Associates. So I'm going to do my posting, you do yours, and then we will check the answers for accuracy. All right, the first posting we have to do is sales returns and allowance of a debit of $245. So we scroll down to the sales returns and allowance. We post the fourth. G12 is the General Journal, page 12, $245 is the debit. Debit entry, debit balance, we must add. So we have $2732.60 and put the $41.30 back into the post reference to show that you posted it. I'm really only going to show you the ending balances and making sure that you have posted both of these, so you can take a look and you can even pause it to double check that you have all of the correct post references here that you have posted, and then I will show you the balances in the accounts. So Abraham Corporation, we have a new balance of $1,026.50. Ashton and Lindsay should have a new balance of $1,307.25. Carson Properties will have $1049.60. Keller Associates, $2054.70. Lambert Schools, $3,284. And then for our general ledger accounts, we have accounts receivable, $8722.05. Because remember, credit entries you must subtract to get the new balance. Sales tax payable, $633.40. Sales returns and allowance, $2938.60. And that should be all of them. So this concludes our 11-2 work together. Make sure you finish this one, check your answers, and then go on to the on your own problem.